You don't know what happened with the Young Turks? I can kind of tell you what happened with the Young Turks. It started from right-wing voices. Cenk was a Republican who was just mad about George Bush. And then he became progressive, and it allowed him to hate both parties. And then they became a sensation. And then they leaned into that. And then, Obama was in office, and being anti-Obama was very good business. Even if you were a progressive, right? Being anti-Obama was really good business because it had that. He wasn't progressive enough. They were disappointed. And then they rode a wave on Bernie, dude. They were riding the Bernie wave. And I think for a moment, they all started to believe the shit. They actually believed it. I think around the Bernie time, they really were true progressives until the Bernie crash. And then the resentment built in, because then it not only was Bernie crashing and their belief that they were going to have a rebellion against both parties that they could ride the wave on, but dude, when that fell apart, the resentment, like, not only was it a resentment of like, oh, I didn't get what I wanted, but there was a resentment of the Democrats, like, crash Bernie. Okay, that's really what it was. They were like, the Democrats stole our chance at a revolution. And at that moment, they became more fervently anti-Democrat. That combined with Cenk's personal grievance of MSNBC saying, you know what, we're going to pass on you, Cenk. Sorry, buddy, you're not getting prime time. So there was a personal grievance against the Democrat news and the mainstream media and the establishment, his personal wound, along with the Bernie wound. And then it was just, it was like a Sean Duffy press conference, dude. It's just an airplane, like plane crash happening behind them, dude. I think that's it. And I think the other thing is, I believe that they made a fatal business mistake too. And this is on Anna and Cenk. This is Anna and Cenk. This is not the Democratic Party. This is not even about the politics. It's about their business. So Anna and Cenk, they had an innate ability to spot talent. They did. They were able to pick really good young talent. They could see the people that were like, wow, these guys have it. They knew how to spot the it factor. But you know what they did that fucked them up? Is they didn't let those become the biggest talents. They subjugated talent that was better than them. Franny, Emma, all these people, they're all better than them. The people they picked are better than them. Cenk and Anna are not that good, but they always put themselves as like the main people, even though they're not that good. If they had just took a sideline and they did the smaller shows and they let their young talent be the big names, dude, they would have been the kings. But they didn't. They repeatedly didn't do it. They tried to hold the better talent down so they could be the king and queen. But at the end of the day, Anna and Cenk are just not that good. And I believe that is the ultimate up that they did.
And by the way, I just want to be clear here. This is very much a bipartisan corruption scheme. Green isn't the only one who's been buying shares of Palantir. And the corruption is very much bipartisan when you take a look at this list of lawmakers.
Dude, it is a bipartisan corruption scheme, dude. They're all corrupted by buying Palantir. And we'll be right back in Polymarket Studios.
Showing, who bought Palantir stock and how much. So you have Representative Julie Johnson from Texas. She's a Democrat. She spent up to $30,000 recently to buy Palantir stock. James Comer, a Republican from Kentucky, spent up to $15,000. Democrat from California, Representative Gil Cisneros, spent up to $15,000 to buy Palantir stock. Marjorie Taylor Greene also spent $15,000 or up to $15,000.
Yeah, up to. What is up to? Up to, dude, up to 30,000. That could be like what, 100, or is it like 29,500? I mean, what I don't understand is how did they arrive at the up to? Like, do you have a number? Or how do you know it stops at 30,000? Like, what is that all about?
And then at the very end of the list, you have Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna from California spending up to $30,000 to buy Palantir stock. Now, you might be wondering, okay, why don't you have any exact numbers for us, Anna?
Okay.
Well, it's because of how the reporting rules are written. Members of Congress do not have to give a specific amount that they spent on stocks in their disclosures, just like a ballpark figure. And I think that's a way of protecting lawmakers as they engage in something they should be, barred from engaging in, which is trading individual stocks.
Now, we could say that a progressive news network should be barred from taking money from right-wing things, don't you? Don't you? Do you think that's accurate? Do you think a progressive news network should be able to take money from right-wing sources, especially the right-wing sources funding the right-wing presidential candidate during an election year? I mean, that's crazy, right? But boy, does she have a problem with $30,000 of fucking Palantir stock. Now, some of those, I don't know. I mean, with Ro Khanna, dude, Ro Khanna's district is fucking Silicon Valley, dude. It's fucking San Jose. Like, of course, he's probably buying Palantir stock. I would imagine he's in all of those tech stocks because they're literally, in his district. Did we ever find out how much money TYT took from Polymarket Studios? Did they ever go transparent how much money they took from that group?
I want to be fair because that's an important caveat when it comes to Representative Khanna. But the reason that the numbers are imprecise is concerning. I wish that we would actually do something about that. But let's also talk about the more concerning element to this story.
Dude, I love how she's like, yeah, it's really concerning that we don't have any hard evidence. But let me talk about what's really concerning, that I'm going to go out on a limb here to create this crazy parallel of like corruption in Congress with no hard numbers, while simultaneously during an election year, we, the Progressive News Network, took a huge sum of money of unknown quantity from a right wing, from the opponents, basically. The whole time we were telling you how bad the Democrats are and how terrible their candidates are. But we're going to forget about all that. But let me just tell you what's really concerning here
is why members of Congress suddenly are investing a significant sum of money into Palantir stock. So
I don't know, maybe their YouTube channel died, Anna, and they're just looking for they need something to land on, bro.
Palantir is an analytics company as well as a defense contractor. It was co-founded by Peter Thiel, who of course is a big money donor and backer of Republican figures. For instance, he mentored Vice President JD Vance and donated $15 million to Vance's Senate campaign back in 2020.
Dude, they brought up Peter Thiel. Is she going to say, and he was also a huge financial backer in Polymarket, which supported us here at TYT?
2022. Thiel also helped found PayPal, where Elon Musk served as CEO for some time. And in addition, Thiel is invested in many of Elon Musk's companies. And while Silicon Valley has obviously bent the knee to the Trump administration for a second term, Thiel was an early supporter and even supported Trump during his first run in 2016.
Dude, they drove right by. There's TYT, there's Polymarket, and they just like, eyes on the road, baby. Oh, Lord.
Making him, again, one of the first tech titans to do so. Now, Palantir's software is used by both the private and public sectors, in addition to international governments. In fact, over half of the company's revenue comes from contracts with the United States government. So let's pause right there. Let's pause right there and just really take in how gross this whole system is. So you're a member of Congress. You are not barred from trading individual stocks. So you invest in Palantir, and then you get to vote on whether or not Palantir gets some new government contracts. They make more money through taxpayers through the federal government granting this private company.
You know what, Anna? God, I get it, Anna. It would be almost like if like I was reporting the news and I was getting a whole bunch of money from one of the parties that is on the opposite side. So I'm showing up every day to deliver the news about the left-wing side of the equation, but I'm getting all this right-wing money coming in. So now when they're saying, oh, Donald Trump's doing Project 2025, I might say, well, Donald Trump's, he said he's not doing Project 2025. I don't believe he's doing Project 2025. But now Kamala Harris, boy, she's going to be bad for the economy. I don't trust her. There's something about her that I don't trust. Oh, yeah. Wait, what's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, Donald Trump, he's good with the economy. Now, I don't like his policies, really, but he's good with the economy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump. Dude, I'm really starting to think he might be the choice. Oh, Kamala Harris, dude. Have you noticed how she just can't seem to fucking say anything? She has no point of view. Now, Donald Trump, on the other hand, he seems like he's really different than he was first time. And he knows a lot about business, right? And I don't really think he's going to take away all our civil rights. Dude, what do you mean, dude? He's not a fascist. Right? Oh, shit. Thank you, and welcome to Polymarket Studios. We'll be here all week. Oh, shit, dude. Dude. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.